Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to Scarland, a land where we take survival building to the extreme. And we're here with the Scott Ranch house building project, working on our barn, which we declared in our last episode to be fancier than our very own house here. So let's take a look at it and get started. So what we're going to be working on today is the back entrance of the barn, because of course we've got no back end of it, and the back end is going to be for, you know, maintenance and deliveries and things of that nature to the barn. And look at that thing, isn't it absolutely amazing? I love it. I just love this style, this rustic mountain style. This is my preferred style in life, and I absolutely love it. Now the inside here is, well, it's not quite as awesome, but you can see all the incredible possibilities for the interior. And you can kind of map out with your brain here. You can kind of see, oh, there's the horse stalls. And this is where all the cows are going to live, and potentially ranch hands up on the upper level. And we'll see about that. But I'm really excited about getting that done. So let's go around the corner here and take a look on this side and see how all those beautiful details have slowly come together to make up this barn, which I think is going to be really cool. So let's talk about the back end here. So up at the top there, we're going to build a crane, bringing up the wheat up to the top level. Down on the lower level, this is going to be like a hay entrance or wheat hay, whatever. It's going to be an entrance for the lower level. So a little cart we're going to build on this side is going to be delivering the wheat into there. And I don't know, I think we just got some amazing designs. So, well, we better get right into it, my friends. And let's get, wait a second. I marked this out a little while ago of kind of the entrance and how I was going to arrange it. And I don't know, this doesn't make any sense, so we're just going to disregard it, my friends. We're just going to disregard it. So yeah, let's going to disregard anything Scar says today. There we go. Awesome. All right, we're already making Scar mistakes, and we've just started today. There we go. So hopefully I find you doing awesome today. I'm doing fairly well myself. I am actually having a very productive day, which is a very good thing. And as a YouTuber, other than having people enjoying your videos and having videos put a smile on people's faces, there's nothing better than having a productive day. And my productive day so far has been getting more than one video done. And if I can get more than one video done in a day, I am super happy. Some of these videos, Scarland or say Hermitcraft, these videos can take like 3 to 4 hours at times to make just itself. And then you got to edit and do all that stuff. So when you actually have a productive day and things are like moving really fast, then yeah, that's a good day. That's a good day. All right. Oh, hello. I am, oh geez. Oh boy. What's going on? Not sure. Anyway, that's a good entrance. I like that. That's a good style right there. I think that's going to make it very nice. All right, let's grab that and start working on this side over here. And we're going to bring this all the way up to the top. And what makes a good day for you? What makes a good day? For me, like I said, would be a day if I had elytra wings. That would make my day happy. But unfortunately, we have no elytra wings, and that makes a sad Scar too. But anyway, like I was saying, what makes a good day for you? What in a day is like, yeah, that was a good day. I got a lot done. That day made me happy. And like I said, when I can make more than one video a day, that always makes me happy. There we go. All right, so we're gonna bring this panel all the way across. Now I'm considering, my friends, running another one across here. And I think I'm going to do that real quick. So why don't we grab a hold of that and bring this across. Now I know a lot of you guys have been asking. You guys have been asking ever since I've been back from being sick. I've been really inspired in Minecraft. And one of the things I've finally got going again was the modern house. That's right, we're gonna have a brand new modern house built very soon. I'm working on the details. I'm slowly getting those details established, but it is progressing well, and we should have it fairly soon. At least by September, there should be a brand new modern house build up on the channel, which I think you guys will absolutely love. And it's gonna be a modern green design, so I think that's gonna be really cool. So we're going to try to make it, you know, as green as possible, because that's apparently the trends, and I think that'll be really cool. So as you can see, we've got kind of a basic design on the outside. Structurally, I think we're going in the right shape. So these designs of these columns are similar to the front. So I'm going to fashion those all up. And there he is, my friends, Bob, the building creeper inspector himself, monitoring and inspecting the barn up there. How dare he? All right, we'll ignore Bob, the building creeper inspector, and get back to work. So as you can see, we're starting to get a back end built up. Now on the right hand side is where we're going to turn, and that is where we're going to start working on the window. So what I'm thinking about is a little window going across here. Now this area is, I'm not sure yet, maybe another storage room for this spot. Now what I have come up with is This is going to be a storage room on that side. So the delivery truck, like we said, we're going to build in a little bit. It's going to go on that side. And then the window goes across here like that. There we go. And then we're going to bring this and then cut this all the way across there like that. Now the section, the little window right there, see that over there? That's where the staircase, oh, hello. That's where the staircase to go up to the upper level is. Need to get rid of this guy. There we go. Get rid of him. Awesome. There we go. Oh, geez. He's got, oh my gosh. There's a zombie army down there, my friends. There's a zombie army down there. What? I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, what in the world is that thing? All right, anyway, back to work, okay? We still need to take our rock and spread it all the way across there, but let's scaffold up here and see what we can do about working on this upper level. There's all these creatures today. My gosh, they're very active. All right, so I kind of worked out a little design on that side. I want to kind of mimic what we did over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this block here, boom and bam, and then I'm going to build up just a little bit of scaffolding and then bring this upwards like that. So I want to mimic that so the best I can. We'll see how it goes. And how hopefully this actually, excuse me, I need to jump up here. I need to jump up and it's just not letting me today. All right, so I'm going to bring that all the way up like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sample that, bring this up to there, and then I'm going to drop in just a little half slab. Look at that. Look at how beautiful it looks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover up all this unsightly stuff along here like that. And this area should actually be kind of cool. So let's see, why don't we'll just cover this whole section up with our half slabs like this. And then over here, I'm not sure exactly what's going to work on over there, but we'll see what happens anyway. Okay, good. I'm really pleased with that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out where these are going to go. So these are going to be our half slabs or stairs. We're going to fit those into this wall right here. So let me work on this for a second, kind of see how this will all work. And there we go. We got both ends complete and we're ready to go. So we got to work in this little corridor through here and try to come up with something fancy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these guys along here. Now, one thing we need to keep in mind in this spot is we need to think about how our crane is going to work. So the crane is going to stick out about right here, I'm guessing, and come outwards and then have like a little basket or something that brings up the hay and the wheats and all those wonderful things. So I think that should work, I think. So we'll see. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to jump back down. I just want to put these guys along here like that. And then what I've been considering is doing something like this and that, and then swapping this in place like that. There we go. And then bring this down like that. And I think that's like a super simple and amazing design. And I think that'll be really cool. So why don't we bring this outwards just a little bit more like that. And I think I'm going to leave that alone for now because I don't want to interfere with that anymore because that's where the crane's going to go. So let's jump back down here and just get a bird's eye look at how this is all coming out. Look at that, my friends. That was looking really, really cool. So what we still need to do is build the cart on this side, the crane up there, and then wrap the rock around. So let me go get some more supplies and I'll start adding the rock around the edges. And welcome back. And as you can see, the rock has been installed and ready to go. And now what we're working on is the crane. So as you can see, we have this gigantic window space. So that's where the flatbed of the hay cart, I suppose, is lifted up and then brought into the upper level here. So what we're working on is bringing this outwards. So as you remember over in this little corner here, I brought that down about 2 blocks. And then from there, I'm bringing out some of these slabs. Now it's not scientific by any means. It's all about kind of feeling it out and seeing how far we need to bring this out. And I don't want to bring it out too far and just have it look really awkward. And I don't want to have it too close to the actual barn where we have to then rebuild something. So it's kind of a bit of trial and error, but I think this actually feels good. I think I'm going to do it right about there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off this piece right there. And then I'm going to go up here a little higher and then maybe go like that. Ooh, I like that. I actually really like that. That's really good. And then I'm going to cut this piece off and replace it like that. There we go. And then maybe on this back side, we don't want to get too complicated, but something like that I think could potentially look really good. Something like that. I think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, potentially, we might want to bring this in, might want to bring it out, but I think that's a really good start to this. All right, so we're bringing this down to about 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and this might be too small, might be too big, but like I said before, you just kind of have to feel this out a bit and to decide where you're going to go. So if I connect it right here, I should be able to put a hay bale on here, correct? There we go. Very beautiful. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to surround this up here. And I think maybe I'm going to go 1 block wider, just a little bit wider so we can fit a little bit more on here. And I'll repeat it again. It's just kind of feeling it out and seeing where this is proportioned. I think proportions are good when you're building, is always not to be feared that you might have to redo something. I think that's always something that, at least in my mind, I always like, oh, I don't want to have to redo it here or there, but it's never the end of the world to have to redo something. It might be a pain here, it might be a pain there, but for the most part, it's always better to make sure you have the product that you're happy about. Something that you're just like, yeah, that's what I'm happy about. I would prefer this to be down about 1 block more, but I think if we do that, it might not look as good because it might be just a little too low. I think it'll be a little easier to see without all the dirt. What do you guys think? I think it's okay, but I want to get your guys' opinion on that. In the comments, let me know. What do you think about that? Is it a little too high? Maybe just a little too low? I'm not 100% sure what you guys are thinking there, but let me know. Definitely let me know. So I'm just going to run this additional block along here. And then on this side over here, I'm just going to run an additional one on that side. I want to leave that kind of open. Now, one thing I would like to do, just to increase detail, is I might shoot over on the back side here and see what I can do about kind of incorporating something into this section right here. So why don't we pull in just maybe a stair like that? I like that a lot, actually. And then we'll swoop on over to the other side and we'll do another one. So this is really, really simple design, but I think it actually looks fairly good. And it looks like you're actually maybe taking something off the back of like a flatbed cart. You know, this little design's like a little cart pulls up and then you just lift that off and then bring it in and then put it back down and the cart drives away. And I think that'd be actually a pretty good idea. I think that actually looks pretty nice. So let me clean this all up and we'll start actually working on the official cart. And there it is from afar. And I think that looks really, really cool. As you can see, I did remove a little bit of the railing on this side. So you can actually see some of the hay up there. It was covering it all up. And I think that looks a little bit better, but let's get started on the cart. So this is like the little hay cart that comes and delivers it. So what I'm working on is a spacing of 2 in the center and then 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that looks pretty good. I think that is going to be like a good width, good dimensions for the design. All right, beautiful. So my friends, let's clear that out of here, grab out a little bit of scaffolding, and then let's see, let's work this up on this side, and then we're going to go like that, and then sneak over on this side and create another one right there. And I'm not the best at making carts. Like I'm not the best at making vehicles or anything along those lines. These things are always a little bit of a struggle for me. But what about you guys? How good are you at making these types of objects? You know, like maybe a car or maybe a plane or a little cart that delivers hay to the stable. What do you guys do about these things? Like I struggle with this design a little bit. Somebody who's really good at these is False on Hermitcraft. She is so good at making like little detail things. Think of the prank she did on Zombie Cleo with the little pirate ships and the Mario creatures. Like really good at those little details. The big jelly, of course, but definitely not my strong suit. I'm definitely trying. Like I'm literally trying to be better at this. Like practice here and there. I've only made a couple of these things over my time playing Minecraft and things of that nature, but I feel like I'm maybe getting a little bit better. At least I'm trying to. I think that's all you can do in life, my friends, is always try to be your best and learn. And I think we're at least trying to do that a little bit in this, is trying to get a little bit better at these carts, because I would like to make little cars and stuff like that for Scar City. So that's definitely going to be a thing that I'll need to work on, is getting those details designed, because I am not so good at vehicles. So that's something we need to work on. We need to work on planes, we need to work on cars, things of that nature for Scar City, because Scar City is going to be just around the corner, my friends. And there it is. That is actually starting to look good. So next thing we're going to work on is over here. And I think I'm going to, let me scaffold up just a little bit and see. Oh, come on. There we go. So I'm going to work on this side over here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off 1 block. I'm going to go down to, actually it'd be right here, right? Okay. Let me just poke around at this for a second and kind of see how I'm going to make the seat that the driver sits on. It's a little bit awkward. All right, and welcome back. And I think I've got a solution to this. So stair right there and then block like so. And then I think what I'm going to do is do an additional block right there and there. and then put additional oak under the lining there. And I think that looks pretty good as a cart. I think I'm happy with that. So why don't we jump up here. Now I want to do some reins. So some reins kind of sticking outwards like that. I would love it if I could just have some horses attached to some leads, but apparently that's just never going to become a thing in Minecraft where a lead will actually hold an animal for any period of time. It's like, it's the most frustrating thing. We've got these leads, but we can't actually use them for longer than like a minute or two. Oh man, there's so many bugs in Minecraft. Or is that a bug? It just, to me, it seems like a bug. All right, and then what I'm gonna do, if this doesn't work, then we probably not do it. Yeah, well, we could hook it to right here. And then we can do is pull this outwards like that. Maybe do one more and then go out like that. I don't like that because it covers up the seat and it doesn't look that great. Once we get to landscaping phase, maybe we could incorporate some horses in some way connected to the cart. But for the most part, I'm actually really, really happy with the way things came out today. Look at this, my friends. When we started this, we had a blank canvas to work with, and from there, we created this beautiful facade of our barn built up and ready to go. We have a crane hoisting up this gigantic bale of hay up into the farm, loft where the hay is going to be stored. And I think I've called it wheat like 1,000 times today. The hay has been brought up there. And as you can see, our cart doesn't look half bad. It looks like it's delivering it to here. Potentially, my friends, what we could do is, have some hay kind of built into the ground like it's been fallen, as they're kind of moving it like that. I think that might be pretty cool. So we can put a couple of them like that. Kind of looks like they're spilling over the edge. And once we get to landscaping, of course, we can incorporate more of that. But I'm really, really pleased with this, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed today. And if you did, definitely let me know what you guys thought of the design. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later.